Right, Crystal Mountain Retreat is my home in Turkey. It's southwest Turkey, in what's known as the Lycian or Lycian area of Turkey. About 10-15 minutes from Kaş, which is quite a popular resort. It's virtually halfway between Dalaman and Antalya airports. There's not much difference, but we're sort of the further south point from there. And it's a 2-acre site on the edge of the village, which is very quiet, no neighbours, totally secluded, and it's just paradise. And I love it. And I do crystal healing, Reiki, working with people with the archetypes, similar to life coaching, that type of thing. Do workshops as well. I cater myself. I have people staying for bed and breakfast occasionally, half board, people who like hiking, walking in the area comes to stay, and it's just nice to meet people from different walks of life and people from different nationalities. I've had people from all over the world coming to stay, so it's really good, very peaceful.
We're sort of up in the hills here. We're up in the hills here, aren't we?
We're up in the mountains. We're about 500 metres, we're about 1,800 feet high. So the air's fresh and clean and no smell of petrol fumes or no noise pollution. It's much cooler here as well in the heat of the summer. We never get really humid days because we always have a breeze during the day.
And you can still walk down to the sea though, can't you, from here?
Yeah, it's quite a good walk, but there's regular buses and into Kaş from here. One time when we moved here, there were no buses at all, and I didn't have a car then, so it was quite a trek. But now there's buses quite regularly, and there's several beaches now in Kaş, which there weren't many at one time, but people have developed more beach, and you can just find somewhere quite quiet.
There's lots of animals making noises in the background.
Lots of animals, yeah. We get all sorts of animals around here. Mainly sheep, goats, horses, cows. Among the wild animals as well. So yeah. Birds, of course. Chickens.
Yeah.
I think that's the jays that you can hear at the moment.
So what's your background? How did you sort of get into all this?
Well, I started off with youth work initially, and found I wanted more. I wanted a career, and somebody suggested nursing to me, and I was like, me nursing? No. But then I thought, well, psychiatric nursing, because it links up with a lot of the work I did with youth work. Anyway, as it turned out, I ended up doing general nursing and working in theatre, and then working in the day surgery theatres. But it was quite good because doing that work enabled me then to go on and do other things which I wouldn't have been able to do the same. I trained in bereavement counselling and then person-centred counselling. And during my training, my second year in training in counselling, you do a lot of work obviously on yourself at the time, and doing workshops and weekends away. And this is when I became attuned, if you like, to the energies of things, and discovered crystals, and found a crystal within a week of thinking, wow, these are amazing. I suddenly found a poster up on a door for a crystal healing course, and it was a 2-year course. So I did that, and at the same time met other people doing different therapies, and somebody said, oh, what about Reiki? I've done Reiki. And I did my Reiki 1, 2 and 3 over like 4 years, and started treating people. And of course, when you're training in therapies, you've got to do a certain number of case studies, so it was mainly friends and people I worked with who I did as case studies, but from them then I built up quite a wide client base. Then a friend who had done crystal healing, well, I'd done a workshop, I met her through a workshop, persuaded me to go as her model for aromatherapy. She was doing a massage and aromatherapy course, well, it was massage initially. and somehow or other I ended up enrolling for the course, so I did massage and aromatherapy. I was very interested in the oils anyway, because in a lot of ways they act on the body, and I could relate it as well to the crystals, especially the colours. If you imagine amethyst, which is good for headaches, and you've got lavender oil, which is also good for headaches, so things relate to one another, and I got lots out of it. So
and how does that fit in with the archetypes?
Well, then about 10 years ago, I got interested in the psychological side of things through my counselling and through treating people and the problems people had. And this is when I sort of looked more into the Jungian side from doing the Rogerian counselling, which was purely person-centred. I then started looking at Carl Jung and his writing on the collective unconscious and how people can tap into this collective energy, if you like, and how things are around us, and the stuff he wrote about on archetypes, which was, at the time, it was very new, and people since him have expanded on it a lot, and there's a lot more written about it. There's a lot of stuff relating to the Greek mythology or fairy tales, and all the psychological aspects of the fairy tales, and even films. And so yeah, I just found it fascinating, and the more work I did with it, and the more I could relate it to clients and work with people relating to their archetypes as well. So I do a combination really now. It depends what people come for.
Just tailor it to the individual needs.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally is. You know, I might spend half a day with someone talking about their lifestyle, the life, what they want to, what they're looking for, if they've got problems, whether they've got physical problems, emotional problems. And then we'll together, really, we'll work together to say, well, look, this is what we can do, and then of course obviously it's up to them to decide which road they want to go down. I can just advise them as to what I think will be the best plan for them, but at the end of the day, obviously it's up to the individual what they want to do. But obviously anybody who does come, they come because they're at a stage in their life where they do want things to change, or they want change in the life. You know, they're not happy for some reason. And quite often you can find that the physical problems have more often than not got an emotional cause, if you like.
How does the nursing sort of tie in with that, you know, your background? How did it sort of flow into that?
Well, I suppose in the nursing you're in a caring profession, so you're dealing with, obviously you're dealing with ill people when you're in nursing, or people who are coming in for operations and stuff. And I suppose it's the caring side really, that you want to help people. And quite often where the doctor can't help or a surgeon can't help, then people like me can help, because we've got the time to spend with people. When I worked in theatre, one surgeon in particular said, I wish I could have you working in my outpatients. He said I could get rid of 3/4 of my waiting list having you working in outpatients with therapies, because he was amazed at the results I'd had with people that he knew